I open the door and head inside. Lord Sanders lying in bed, a book at his side. His gaze is fixed on me as I approach his nightstand and set the tray down. I wait a moment for him to say something, but all he does is look at me. It's unnerving, and I want nothing more than to run away. My etiquette is terrible. I'm trying to raise it up. Well, if that's all, I'll excuse myself. You know it isn't. I could have sent for any servant if all I wanted was the soup. I wanted to talk about what happened at the dinner with Eloy. I bite my lip, not particularly wanting to be reminded of that incident. I'd prefer it if we didn't. You're being awfully forward for a servant, don't you think? If I tell you to do something, you do it. You don't say that you'd rather not. I understand that you aren't exactly happy with me, but your attitude isn't exactly convincing me to hand over my estate. Be rude to the wrong people and you're in for a world of trouble, boy. I grit my teeth at the boy comment. I suppose that he does have a point, and I suppose that I was acting childish, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. I know that already. Then prove it next time and show your superiors proper respect. Anyway, I should have summoned you earlier, but it's hard. I don't exactly like talking about this illness of mine. Still, I suppose you have the right to know. I don't need to know. It's your business, not mine. I say it quickly, I don't want to know. That much is true. Knowing would make it more personal, and I don't want to become more invested than I already am. I distance myself even more by adopting a hollow tone. I don't care what happens to you. Lord Sandor goes quiet for a moment. For a second, I think that maybe my words actually hurt him. But then he continues his usual tone as if he hadn't missed a beat. I suppose that's fair. Then I guess the short version will do. If for some reason you decide you do care, you can talk to the doctor later. That's probably better anyway. Some of the things he rambled on about went over my head. The point is I'm dying and it'll happen soon. How soon? Wondering how much time you have to win me over? Wanting to ring how much time you have to win me over, are you? Something like that. Most of the doctors I've spoken to think it'll be within the year. Then again, what do they know? They can't even figure out a cure. Still, it might be better if it happens sooner rather than later. I feel horrible enough already, and it gets worse by the day. Dr. Borges can only do so much. It might be nice to just get it over with. Stop that, it's not funny. I wasn't trying to be funny, I'm serious. Well, stop it anyway. The longer you live, the longer Dr. Borges has to figure out how to save you, so don't talk about dying like it means nothing. I thought you said you didn't care. I don't, but that doesn't mean I can't tell you you're being stupid when you're being stupid. Easy for you to say. You're the one. Easy for you to say. You're not the one who is sick. No, I'm not. But that doesn't mean I'm wrong. You owe it to the people who care about you to keep trying. Lord Sandor laughs bitterly. And just who cares about me, Marcel? You? No, you've explicitly stated that you don't. Your mother cared once, but I betrayed her. Any love she had for me is dead by now, replaced by a bitterness that I put there. Nobody will care when I'm dead and gone. It's a truth I have come to accept. I can name 3. 3? Ha! Very funny. I don't suppose you have names for these imaginary friends of mine. Vincent, Kamal, and Lord Sheerin. Lord Sandor frowns, his expression thoughtful. I know that I've brought up people that he hadn't considered. They might not be particularly close to Lord Sandor, but I'm positive each of them cares in their own way. I think that Lord Sheerin was genuinely concerned when he asked about your health. And earlier he implied that Vincent has been here for a long time. You said that Kamal has stayed with you too. If they didn't care about you at all, they probably would have moved on. I hear that your usual servants are rather good at that. So don't sit there and swallow in self-pity as if you have nothing. 3 is plenty, even if you don't realize that. I would like to think that there is some truth to your words. But that's besides the point. This line of conversation is pointless. I'm mostly just complaining. If I'd really given up, I would have fired the doctor. I'm still allowed to complain every once in a while, aren't I? That is true. I cross my arms. If he wants to complain, he can do it around someone else as far as I'm concerned. You could have turned out nicer, you know that? If I was nicer, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. I suppose that reaction at dinner really was just a surprise then. I should never have expected differently. You're right, you shouldn't have. I'm not going to feel sorry for you just because you're dying. That's right, I don't owe him anything. I meet his intense gaze and reaffirm my resolve. Right, well I've wasted your time and mine. There's no need to continue doing so. You're dismissed. I'm sure Vincent can find you something productive to do. I give Lord Sandor a polite bow and then head for the door. When I reach the hallway, I close my eyes and let a deep breath that I didn't know I was holding in. Ah, good afternoon. My eyes bolt open and I see Borges standing before me. I hadn't realized I'd let my guard down that much. I give him a small bow and greet him. Good afternoon, Dr. Borges. How is he doing today? I glance back at the door to Lord Sandor's room and bite my lip. Borges frowns. He didn't have another coughing fit, did he? No, at least not in my presence. I think he might have had an attack before I entered his room, though. His voice was kind of hoarse. Lord Sander would probably prefer it if I lied and said he was fine, but I'm not comfortable with that. If there is something wrong with him, the doctor needs to know. I see. I suppose that means the medicine isn't working as well as it was before. I might have to up his dose to figure out another treatment. He sighs and rubs the back of his neck as he thinks it over. Do you know how often it has been happening by any chance? No. Isn't that something you should ask him yourself, though? Yes, but... Borges lets out a tired sigh. Well, he isn't very cooperative. He lies to me and pretends it's not as bad as it really is. Do you think you could kind of keep an eye on him? If you can tell me... No. Borges blinks, a bit surprised at how cold my reaction is. I'm a bit surprised, too, to be frank. I hadn't intended to say it with so much venom in my tone. Still, I stick to my words. That's not my job. Now, if you'll excuse me... I give Borges another bow and move past him, not waiting for an answer. Wow. Okay. So, they wanted tidiness, they wanted strength, awareness went down. So I'm gonna bump up my etiquette. Try to put in clean rooms, attend guest. Write letters, clean rooms, attend guest. And then write more letters. Let's try this. Normal etiquette. Attend guest. Awareness +2. Write letters. I finished my tasks for the day, so I head to the garden to see what Kamal is up to. If he's done with all his work too, we can probably sneak out and about buying some seeds. It only takes me a second to spot him getting in some practice with his sword. I suppose that means he has some free time after all. Can I interrupt your practice? Kamal sheaths his sword and turns his attention to me. It's not a problem. You got some free time? That's actually what I was going to ask you. It seems we both had the same idea then. Did you ask Vincent for permission? I did. He says as long as you weren't busy, it was fine. Then let's go. Oh wow, the market. That decided the two of us head into town. I let Kamal lead the way, since he seems to know where he's going. Did you need to stop anywhere while we're out, or are we good to focus on getting the seeds? I don't have anywhere I need to go. Kamal nods and continues on. I follow close behind him, trying not to get lost. We keep this up for a bit before I decide it's a bit on the quiet side. Kamal seems a bit focused, but I don't think he'd mind. What would I talk about, though? Ask Kamal where we're going. Comment on how focused Kamal seems. Comment on how focused Kamal seems. You know, you seem more focused than usual. I don't normally seem focused? Not to me. You always seem so relaxed when you're working. Oh, cool. My relationship went up. I know you put effort into it, but you make it look effortless. But right now, you're not like that. I see. I should probably watch that, actually. You need to watch it? Why? I don't think focusing on something is generally a bad thing. It's not, generally. So there is a time for Kamal, and focusing is a bad thing? Before I can say anything else, Kamal's eyes flash and his arm reaches out for me automatically. He grabs me by the shoulder and pulls me to him, just in time to move me out of the way of two children fighting with wooden swords. I blink, taking a minute to figure out what just happened. The two things I'm able to process are that Kamal just saved me from an oncoming crash, and that his firm body is surprisingly comfortable. I blush a bit, trying to omit that second thought. Hey, you two! The two children, a girl and a boy, freeze in place upon hearing Kamal's booming voice. Once they actually get a good look at him, they both shrink back uncomfortably. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. A real warrior would have never let an insect get hurt. The children exchange glances and then look at Kamal, relaxing a bit now that they understand that he's not actually mad at them. We're sorry. Yeah, we'll be more careful next time. That's nice, but I'm not the person you should be apologizing to. Both of the children look at my direction. To be honest, it feels a little awkward to be singled out. It's not like it would have been a big deal even if they did happen to bump into me. I would have been a bit annoyed, but I'd have lived. Kamal is making this too big of a deal. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. The apology doesn't seem nearly as genuine when it's directed at me. Whatever. Brats will be brats. It's not like I wasn't one when I was their age. Don't worry about it. They don't. Both kids turn their attention back to Kamal. Apparently he's infinitely more interesting than me. Are you this guy's bodyguard or something? Nah. Kamal lets me go and crouches so that he's at the child's level. Actually, I brought him along to protect me. What? Really? I'm with the kid. What? I know he's just kidding, but it's still a ridiculous claim. He's not doing a very good job then. If he was a real bodyguard, he'd have been able to dodge us on his own, and you wouldn't have had all those scars. I'm liking these kids less and less. How dare he call into question my imaginary bodyguard skills? Kamal laughs. You're a sharp one, huh? The girl blushes brightly. Can I see your sword for a minute? She nods and shyly hands over her wooden sword. Kamal gives it a scroll. I would have kind of laughed if he snapped it in half, just because of how ridiculous that is. No, I'm sure that's mean. That's mean to snap it in half. An impressive blade. It's the Hawk Blade. Hawk Blade? Ah, that would make you Lauren. Forgive me for my earlier rudeness, princess. The girl giggles delightedly. It looks like someone has a crush. Not that I can blame her, with Kamal is just oozing charm. Yeah, now I'm a little jealous. And your companion? I'm Amukiki, champion of the Grimoire Arena. The boy puffs out his chest and flexes his non-existent muscles for effect. Ah, Amukiki. Good choice. You know, I actually got the chance to fight Amukiki. Got his autograph, too. Kamal points one of the scars on his arm, the aforementioned autograph. He gave me this one here. The boy's eyes go wide in obvious excitement. Really? You fought Amukiki and didn't die? Kamal laughs. Not even once. Not even once. I roll my eyes as the boy laughs at Kamal's bad joke. He did beat me pretty soundly, though. That's awesome! That's totally wicked! It didn't feel very awesome at the time, but yeah, I guess it is kind of awesome. Are you a gladiator then? I mean, that would make the most sense if you fought at Amukiki. I was. I'm not anymore. Why'd you stop? I got a better deal. He keeps the explanation after that. I get the feeling there's a bit more to it through, considering how quickly he changes the subject. There's something really attractive about a guy who is able to deal well with children, who's good with kids. There's just something really sexy about that, in my opinion. Anyway, I was pretty good at it. I could give you a few pointers if you'd like. Yes! If it's not too much trouble. It's no trouble at all. First, I'd recommend changing up the way you hold your sword. Swinging it around aimlessly will just wear you out. If you hold it like this, with the hilt level at the bottom of your torso and the tip level with your head, you can respond quickly to most strikes. He stands up and demonstrates as best as he can with a small wooden sword. It puts you in a better position to protect the most vulnerable parts of your body, too. He turns his attention to the little girl. Want to give it a try? She nods and he hands her sword back to her. Both her and the boy attempt to imitate Kamal's pose. He corrects them as needed and then guides them through a few more steps before having them practice a few strikes. They're already showing a fair bit of improvement. Of course, the time spent teaching them the finer points of swordsmanship is cutting into our shopping time. I should probably say something to Kamal. I'm about to do so when I notice how genuine Kamal's smile is and hesitate. He's enjoying himself, and, well, this is a great opportunity for those kids to learn something. I can't really feel good about cutting in on something like that. I guess it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world if we don't get any seeds today. No, this is worth it. Watching Kamal, handle these kids is very cute. I take a deep breath and settle in. I don't expect them to stop anytime soon. The wooden swords clack loudly against each other with each new strike. The longer their practice goes on, the louder and more confident those strikes become. I wish I could enjoy watching the kids learn like Kamal is, but I can't. With each practice strike, I become more and more aware at how much I'm not a part of it. This was my choice, and I feel like it was the right one, but I still can't help but feel a little jealous. How stupid is that? Jealous of a couple of dumb kids? I sigh and try to divert my thoughts towards something less depressing. The sun is about to set when the kids finally mention that it's time for them to head home. It's only then that Kamal seems to realize that it's actually that late. He approaches me, scratches in the back of his neck. It seems I owe you an apology. I might have gotten a little carried away. A little, huh? He blushes a bit in embarrassment. Maybe more than a little. I'm not really mad at him. I'm more mad at myself for getting a little upset. I mean, I was the one who decided to wait for him. It's not like I couldn't have done something about it. I'm not about to chastise him for something I decided to do. I force a smile and change the subject quickly, hoping to prevent the conversation from getting more awkward for both of us. I didn't realize you were so good with kids. Kamal shrugs. They're easy to figure out. For you, maybe. They don't seem to me like that. They seem to like me at all. Well, you didn't exactly try, did you? You could have joined us. He got you there, Marcel. Yeah, he's got me there. Exactly what it says. Well, to be honest, I don't like them much either. You don't like kids? I think they're kind of a pain. I can still be impressed with how you dealt with them, though. You'll be a good father one day. I can't say his future wife will be happy, though, if he ignores her like he ignored me. Nah. Nah? Well, I probably won't have any in the first place. So the whole comment about, I hope that his wife won't feel like bad that he ignores, her like he ignores me. When you have children, you your priorities shift. You have to prioritize the children. You have to prioritize your children over anything else. And at times, that includes your spouse. And I think that's understood between you and your spouse. Your spouse, between your spouse and your kids, the kids do have to come first. So I don't think I would ever feel super upset at my husband for paying more attention to the kids than with me. Of course, every now and then it's nice for the spouses to have time to give each other attention, have a date night. That's great, and that's very healthy. But in general, you should be cool with the kids coming first. I like men. Women don't do anything for me. Ah, that's interesting. Surprised? A little. I'm more surprised how blunt you are about it. Kamal shrugs again. The way I see it, I don't have time to waste pretending to be something I'm not. If people have a problem with that, that's their issue. I don't have to make it mine. So that's that. Make of it what you will. Kamal doesn't particularly act like he wants some kind of answer from me, but I feel like I should give him one anyway. I know if it were me confessing something like that, I'd be worried about how it would change our relationship. I'd want there to be no question where I stand with the other person. It might be hard for me than him, but I'd go ahead and reassure him. I don't mind. That information doesn't make a difference to me. No differences at all, huh? Well, that's a little disappointing. How is that Ah, I blush a bright red and Kamal laughs. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't do anything without your permission. Does that mean he's implying that he would want to do something if he had permission? Anyway, we should probably head back. We'll have to get the seeds another day. It's too late now. I kind of figured as much. You could have said something. I thought about it, but you looked like you were having a lot of fun. I didn't want to ruin that. Kamal looks me over in an analyzing manner. I put it on a smile to try to distract him before he reads too much into it. Anyway, it's not a big deal, so don't worry about it. It is a big deal, though. I wasted your free time and I also upset you. Well, I didn't exactly do anything to prevent it. That doesn't matter. I should have been more aware of the situation. He's so sweet! Kamal, you're just one big teddy bear. I love this. Kamal, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll make it up to you. Really, you don't have to. No, Marcel, really he does. Really he does have to make it up to you later. I want to. He wants to, Marcel. He wants to. He stares at me with a steady gaze. I can tell I'm not going to win this one. I yield. Fine. You can make it up to me by teaching me how to use a sword. Oh, yes. I'm sure he'll show you how to use his sword. I'm sure he will, Marcel. I figure something like that wouldn't exactly be a hardship for him. A hardship. No. Yes, a hardship. And it would be interesting to learn. Kamal smiles. I can do that. Oh my goodness. The kitchen, huh? Eloy strikes his chin as we enter the kitchen where the cook is already hard at work. That's right. I thought you were supposed to clean the guest rooms today. I was. Vincent changed his mind. He does that occasionally. Actually, I specifically asked for the job. I figured that having other people around might prevent a repeat of the last incident involving Lord Sheerin. Vincent was very accommodating about rearranging the schedule for me, too. Unfortunately, that's pretty much the only thing he can do for me regarding Lord Sheeran's behavior. I know I can't avoid one-on-one time forever, but I would like to put it off as long as I can, regardless. Well, I suppose I could prove more interesting than some of the other tasks you've been doing lately. Honestly, I hope it's not. It would be wonderful if Lord Sheerin got bored and left. But that's too much to hope for. I try not to focus on it and I ask the cook what he'd like me to do. He eyes me and then Lord Sheerin before asking me to wash the dishes. and then Lord Sheerin, before asking me to wash the dishes. I get the feeling he's not exactly pleased about Lord Sheerin being here. Of course, he doesn't dare say anything about it. Got it. I head over to the sink and get started. Lord Sheerin already looks bored. He watches me lazily for a few minutes before verbally saying so. I'm bored. Well, you're free to leave at any time. No one is stopping you. It's like you want to get rid of me. Who would ever want to get rid of you? The sarcasm should be more than obvious, but I assume Lord Sheerin will just pretend it was a compliment. The kitchen's cooks shift uncomfortably, which reminds me that I should watch what I say. Lord Sheerin might not care if I'm rude, but that doesn't mean he doesn't. I guess that would be the downside of working around others. Heh. So he's just going to laugh at me. Fine, whatever, I don't care. I've got a job to do. I don't have time to get annoyed with him. I try to ignore his fixed staring as I scrub the current plate clean. It's not exactly easy, though. I keep getting caught up in trying to figure out what he's thinking. He has to be plotting something. There is nowhere way he just behaved. Marcel. You have something in your hair. I do. Yes, hold on, I'll get it. Ordinarily, I'd object, but in this situation, it's actually kind of helpful since my hands are occupied. Ellie reaches for my hair and runs his fingers gently through a few strands of it. It only lasts for a few seconds before he pulls back. What was it? Don't worry about it. Wait, that smile is too suspicious. It was nothing, wasn't it? He was just using it as an excuse to touch me. You know, your hair is really soft. This is sexual harassment up to the wazoo. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I should have known something was up the second he tried it. Oh my gosh. Ladies, if this happened to you, if a guy kept doing this to you, come on now. Come on now. Seriously. I glare at him automatically. Double standards. Oh my, looks like I've been found out. No, this is not funny. This is serious. This is not funny. You should not be touching people like that. I know this is like in the olden days. I know, but that doesn't mean that I can sit here and not say something about it, regardless of whether or not this took place in the older ages. It still doesn't make it right, in my opinion. Lord Sheerin chuckles and looks at me with an amused expression. I don't dignify him with a response. I turn my attention back to the task at hand and try to drop the annoyed expression that's giving Lord Sheerin so much amusement. I won't let him get to me. I won't let him get to me. I won't let him get to me. Lord Sheerin lets out a defeated sigh and then runs his mouth again. Such a cold response. Ah, well, I suppose that is part of your charm. You put up such a front when we're around other people. But when you get alone, you melt in my slightest touch. You melt in my slightest touch. Say what now? If possible, Lord Sheerin's smile seems more sinister than before. It's addictive. The cook eyes me with a disdainful look, but says nothing. I can feel his respect for me sinking into an all-time low. Come on, it's not like that. I bite my lip, wondering how I should respond to the situation. I can deny it, but I somehow get the feeling that will only make me look guiltier. What else am I supposed to do, though? I take a deep breath in an attempt to calm down. When I speak, I try to use a mature tone. You're going to get me in trouble. So I can lose my job. I know that doesn't matter to you, but it matters to me, so stop spewing suggestive nonsense. It's fine, really. Lord Sander likes me. And he can't fire you for entertaining guests. That is part of your job, after all. Stop it. Stop what? See, this is so uncomfortable. If this was a woman, if Marcel was a woman, and Eloy was like, you tell him stop it, no means no. If you say stop it, and the other guy is like, stop what? I'm like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. I know this is just a game, guys. I know this is just a game, but still, it's like, I can't help but take it a little seriously. Because when you start looking at it like that, it's like, you know what? You're making me angry. Then maybe you should do something about it. Can I murder him? I want to murder him. He's practically asking me to do it. I cross my arms and take a deep breath, trying with all my might to not let him get further under my skin. I have one idea, but if it doesn't work, I may really resort to killing him. I pick up a plate, dunk it in the water, and make sure it's clean before handing it to Lord Sheerin. Here! He takes it from me with a curious look on his face, and I proceed to throw a dish towel at him. I'll wash and you dry. If you can do that, you can stay. If not, I'm kicking you out. You'd really kick me out? Yes, without any remorse. And if you want to take it up with Lord Sander, you can. But for now, you have a choice. Help me or leave. Lord Sheerin sighs and gives me a small smile. All right. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to show you how to do your job. Like you'd know anything about my job. Still, I suppose even you can't screw up drying dishes. I don't know. I may find a way. If you do, I'd be impressed. Now be quiet and get to work. To my surprise, Lord Sheerin gives me a nod and then starts drying the dish I previously gave him. He's a little slow at first, but as I hand him even more dishes, he starts to get the hang of it. Soon enough, we have a pile of sparkling clean dishes, and the more impressive feat by far, I didn't want to kill him. It's okay. I probably still do, Marcel. I wonder if I can con him into doing more work in the future. Of course, he wasn't willing to help me shelve books in the library after I caught him with a female servant. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen her around. Did she quit? I sincerely hope Lord Sheerin didn't get her fired. That's beside the point, though. The point is, he didn't help me then, but he did help me now, and I'm not sure what the difference was in this scenario. Maybe it was because I threatened to kick him out if he didn't help this time. That's my best guess for now. You seem to be thinking hard. Were you reevaluating your opinion of me? Did my dish drying skills win you over? Oh yes, I'm practically swooning over here. I roll my eyes. I'd say it out loud if I wasn't sure I'd give the cook the wrong idea. He'd probably take it seriously after what Lord Sheerin told earlier. I did good, right? You may praise me now. I'm not sure doing a decent job drying dishes really warrants praise. Still, he did help, and maybe I should encourage that kind of behavior. Or I could be sarcastic. That sounds fun, and it might be what he's expecting anyway. Praise him sarcastically. Oh yes, you've done a phenomenal job. Never before have I seen someone with so much talent for drying dishes. It's quite something, really it is. In fact, I think it's a waste that you aren't putting your talent to use all the time. Lord Sheerin flashes me a smug grin. Oh, he likes it. I'm not even trying to get my relationship with Eloy, and it still is. I am that good, aren't I? Still, I don't know. Being that perfect all the time would wear out even me after a while. I doubt it. Someone as exceptional as you is bound to be immune to a moral concern like wariness. You may have a point. Lord Sheerin laughs. You know, your sarcasm is delightful. Oh, good. You realized it was sarcasm. For a second there, I thought you were taking all of that seriously. Nah. I may be as wonderful as you say, but there's no way you'd actually admit it. I don't get the feeling you're great at the whole praising people thing. Is that so? Yup. Well, Lord Know-It-All, I will honestly say that you did a satisfactory job, which is more than I expected from you. So, good job, I guess? I was right. You are horrible at praising people. How was that horrible? I was just giving you the level of praise that you actually deserved. I was looking for a bit more. Drying dishes is kind of a big deal for me, you know. Oh, boo-hoo. Poor Lord Sheerin, born into a life of luxury where touching dishes is his greatest hardship. How about this? I'll praise you more when you actually do something worthy of more praise. Promise? He's taking it as a challenge. That's not exactly what I was expecting. I guess it's not a promise I can't keep. If he really does something well, I'd probably mention it regardless. Fine. I promise. Alright then, I may give earning your praise an attempt. If I decide I feel like it, of course. Well, I'm not gonna hold my breath. If he actually does manage it, well, I'd be a little impressed. As I put the plates away, I start thinking. Lord Sheerin was much more manageable with some kind of distraction to keep him occupied. If I could find someone to occupy him whenever we're alone, I might actually be able to stand him. It's definitely worth a try. I just hope it actually works. Okay, for this week, I am going to front load the etiquette, because I have a feeling that the next skill check is going to be on etiquette. And I want to pump that up to 10 because we already got a check for strength, awareness, and tidiness. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. So, get back to cleaning rooms, attend to guests, etiquette, cleaning rooms, attend to guests, and write letters. So, let's start that. Etiquette. Etiquette plus 2. Alright, now we're at 10 etiquette. Vincent gave me some time off, which is nice, but unfortunately I don't have a specific way to spend it in mind. In the end, I head towards town, deciding it's too nice of a day to spend it indoors. Most of the other servants spend their off time in town, but I'm not exactly sure where they'd go. From what I can tell, there aren't many things besides shops. Of course, it could be that simple. Maybe just getting out for a stroll and purchasing a few things is enough to qualify as entertainment for most people. This thought in mind, I start glancing at the windows of each shop as I pass by.